Okay, now I want to touch upon a very important, powerful point, and that is speaking about the stay-at-home wife or housewife. I'm sure there are different terms for it, um, and I want to start with with something. Okay, that we have to be clear. How do we decide? How do we know how to be? What's my responsibility as a man, as a woman? What I'm supposed to do? What's um, my role? What's my mission? What's gonna make me happy? And we grew up in different cultures, okay, but it's very nice if you grow up in America. In America, that's what we do. In France, that's what we do. In Saudi Arabia, this is what we do. In Israel, that's what we do. In North America or Argentina, this is what we do. We don't care what we do. You do, meaning I'm not meaning in a negative way, but don't you think that doing what Hashem wants, it's what's the right thing? Because God created and designed men and women, okay? God designed men and women. He made something called marriage, and he taught us how to be happy human beings and how to live, become one physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually as human beings. So you want to know like what's your role, what's your mission, what you're supposed to do in a marriage. Don't look at your culture, look at your religion, look at what God, your creator, your father, your mother, which is God, uh, uh, um, design you. Look at your DNA. And so it's very hard. One of the first things that God told Avram is Lech Lecha, live for yourself, and not for your country, not for your parents, not for your city. You gotta let all that out. You're Jewish. And the Jew is going back to the root of creation, of his DNA, of who he is and how the world works. So you want to know how the world works? This is what I'm telling you. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because everybody comes from different culture, and in my home, this is what we do. In my house, this is how I grew up. This is what my father always did. This is what my mother always did. That's very nice. But a lot of those things that your father and mother or your culture and your city did, it's a way that is against the Torah. It's a way that it doesn't make you one. That's a way that creates divorce. It's a way that is not necessarily good. So it's very nice that you got used to it and you enjoy it, but that might not be the ideal way of life, okay? The ideal way of life is what God tells you is the ideal life, and then ideal way of life, and that's what's going to enable you to become one with your spouse and truly the happiest couple ever. So we got to listen to the instruction of our Torah, our written Torah, oral Torah, and our rabbis that knows exactly how it's supposed to work. So yes, a woman ideally, it's very nice that she's home. Okay, it's the ideal that she's, because the woman is the Shekhinah. She's the one that brings the divine presence in the home. It's thanks to her. She's usually the one that can create the atmosphere of having a home, not just a house, but a home, and teach the kids to live in harmony with the father, with the siblings. So the woman is the one that creates the home. She's the center. A man that doesn't have a home, who is not married, doesn't have a wife and a home, is like he's a freelance. He's like he's everywhere and nowhere. He's one day there, one day there. It's not, his home is not as important as the one when a woman is there, because it's a place to sleep, right? It's not that important. So he's not anchored anywhere. Once he's married, he's anchored to that place, and that place becomes the home. And when the woman is there, it's like the flame, the fire in the I forgot what it's called, the fire pit, the chimney, whatever. Right? It gives the warmth, it gives the life. Now, a woman cannot stay home doing nothing. Today, you push one button for the electricity, for the dishwasher, one button for the wash machine, one button for the cooking the stuff. So a woman needs to be busy, and a woman is not always able to be home. She goes crazy. It's ideal that, especially when the kids come, then when they have kids, to be home as much as possible with the kids, so that the kid learns how to say water or mime and not agua, or meaning that he's educated mostly by the parents, not by the nanny. Not saying that the nanny is not good, but to understand that the more the kid spends time with the mother and the father, the more, especially with the mother when he's home, when they're little, the more they get infused with the soul of the mother, with the love of the mother, with the yirat shamayim, the awe of and fear of God from the mother, and that's what shapes the kids. So we have to understand. However, so it's ideal that women to have a home, and the housewife is there's nothing greater than a housewife in many ways, right? Even if she works part-time, it's still a housewife, because it's her biggest strength, it's her power. Now sometimes, I had moments where I was a I would say home wife, so home man, home husband, and I was taking more care of the home and cleaning and the kids and carpool and everything, and so it's not set in stone. It doesn't say in the Torah the woman has to stay home. It is encouraged in the Beis Yaakov, right? It's encouraged that the woman should stay home. It's her main power. The biggest power of the man is more to be out there in the world. That's why he's physically built stronger to deal with the physical world. But each one has its strength, and this is the ideal situation. So a man has always to look up at his wife, especially if it's a home wife, a housewife. He has to look even more up at her, because it is a very challenging thing. It's just as challenging as it is for a man to go out and to work all day. This is as challenging for a woman to be home and to work. She's working all day, but she's working things that you man, you don't like to do, right? You don't like to change the diapers, you don't like to cook, you don't like to clean the house, you don't like to clean the toilets. So, by the way, in my opinion, a woman should not clean the toilet. It should be the man or a cleaning lady. Because if a woman is a queen, your wife is a queen, and she should not do it. And you're a king too. So, or you humble yourself and you don't let your queen do it, or you get a clean lady for those few things. It doesn't say in the Torah your wife is a clean lady. It doesn't say in the Torah that your wife is supposed to be a babysitter. It's not written in the Torah that your wife has to be the cook and chef of the house. Okay, all those things are cultural things. Yes, the wife usually has the great advantage that she can show love and provide all the good things for the kids and for the husband, and the husband feel love that way. So that's why the woman is encouraged to cook and to prepare the home, especially if she's home all day. If she's not home all day, then they're a clean lady. It's not her responsibility. Okay, men who has a wife working all day feel like, oh, you have to work, but you have to be a housewife too. You have to take care of all the home. This is ridiculous. You have as much responsibility as her, because she's also the breadwinner now. So you lose the status as the main breadwinner, and you have as much responsibility to share every responsibility in the house. So again, that doesn't fit well. People who are used to a culture where the guy, he comes home at a hot day of work and puts their hands and now feed me, or why the house is not clean, and you were home all day. Why it's not ready? And if she's part-time, you still had time. What are you doing with your day? That's a cultural thing. It's now, I'm not saying there's some women who are really, really lazy, don't do anything. But most women, a man doesn't understand that spending time with the child home, even if it's just one child, is exhausting and it's hard. And you're busy all day, taking care of the child, sleeping. The day goes like that. And most women actually want the house to be nice. Some you forget about the fact that some women were never lived in a clean house because the parents didn't have a clean lady, and the mother or the father didn't do anything in the house, and therefore she was never taught to clean and to have a clean house. So why do you expect her to be like that all the time? So if it bothers you so much, get a clean lady, and that's it. No, that fighting for those things is ridiculous. You should be focused, both of you, in much more important things, into love, into appreciating each other in the areas that you are good, not areas you are not good, and having growing together in Torah and coming close to God spiritually. Focus on the good, not on those things. A lot of people fight all the time for that, especially because of the man. He's upset. Well, you're upset. If you're upset, do more. Meaning, I find inconceivable. Okay, it's a cultural thing, but I'm a French guy. Okay, but I find inconceivable that the guy is never going to touch a diaper. I find it inconceivable that the guy is never going to vacuum or touch a broom. I find it inconceivable that the guy is not going to learn how to cook even pasta for his kids. Like, what kind of world do we live in? You can't even learn how to do it on YouTube. Okay, no excuses. If you don't have internet, then go to your rabbi who knows how to do it, because if he's a righteous rabbi, he has taken care of his kids. He has changed diapers, not one diaper, hundreds of diapers. He has stayed up all night to take care of the kid and to feed the kid. He has okay. So a real man is not gonna put his wife down because the house is not clean and the food is not made, and he has to try and understand why it is like that. First of all, understand that not every woman is that perfect role model, housewife role model it is, and again, that's not her main role. Okay, it's she has that strength in most cases, right? But some wives don't know how to cook. Some wives don't know how to clean. Some wives don't know how to change diapers either. Well, they have to learn, just like you. If you had learned the first day, just like she learned the first time, then you would have done it. I used to change the diapers of my little brother and sister, so therefore for me, I learned when I was a kid. So again, it's a very cultural thing. So all that to say that a housewife is something wonderful, and it's, yes, ideal and must can, and God encourages. The reason why a man loves a housewife or home wife so much is because he feels loved. For him, while the man, it's all about his ego. He feels loved when his ego is boosted, when he feels the wife is looking at him and treating him like a king, right? So she cooks food for him. Oh, he comes home, there's a food, and he comes home and everything is clean. So he feels, wow, he does that for me, and he feels good. I was working hard, she worked hard, so now he feels good. Yes, it's very nice, but it's not always feasible and possible. It's not always, not every human being is a robot and has the power to do all that exactly like we want. So the man has to be humble. He has to say his wife is a queen. It doesn't matter how much she does or how much she doesn't matter. Whatever little things she does. And by the way, if you were very appreciative all the time of, oh, thank you so much for cooking, this is so delicious, for taking the time to cook for me, you didn't have to, thank you so much for taking care of the kids and changing all those diapers today. How many diapers you changed? Probably 50, exaggerating, but like 20 diapers today, and feeding the baby and setting you up at night and vacuuming and cleaning and doing the dishes and going to shop for food. So there's food home, and whatever it is that the woman does home, make a list. If you're a guy, make a list of everything that needs to be done home, and you will see that it's a lot of things. I know I've done it, and especially today, people don't have small home, just one bedroom home or apartment. People have big homes today, but so it becomes even harder. So this is what I want to share. We have to learn to appreciate everything, and to really treat our wife as a queen. If she doesn't deserve to be treated as a queen, well, that's maybe because you don't make her a queen. Sometimes it's like the kids that you tell them, you're stupid, you're never gonna be successful, and therefore he's gonna fail his classes because he really thinks it's like that. So the kid that is not so righteous, we know those were experiments were made in university, in right, Harvard experiments and stuff like that, where they took kids that were not brighter than the other class, and actually worse. And they told them that you're all genius and smart, and they all became super successful. Why? Because you believe, and it boosts you. So you boost your wife. You said the most amazing wife. You're it's so amazing everything you do for me. I love it. I'm blessed. Then you brighten that light, that love. She feels loved. She feels that you're appreciative, and therefore she's gonna want to do more. Okay. But we might do it at the beginning when we date or the first week of marriage, and then it dies down because we get used to the routine every day. But you got to fuel the fire. You have to put fuel or coals or wood. It's gonna die down. So we have to fuel the queen, and we have to fuel the king. Also, the wife has to, especially if she's a housewife, she has to be very appreciative that the husband goes work. Yes, he will go work anyway, and you guy, you have to, that you're gonna go work anyway, even if you're not married, because you want to make money, because you want to feel good about yourself, because you're boosting your ego. So say I'm working all day, for you, all that. Well, you would be working all day even if you were not married. So quiet. But the idea is that still a lot of it is you invest in the home, you invest in the kids, you invest in your wife, you invest. So yes, there is part of you that also is working because you want to build a family, and you work maybe more because of it. You have to know your true intentions. If it's really that when you stay extra hours at work, do you really do it because you want to pay your Lamborghini mortgage, finance Lamborghini or whatever, Lexus or something expensive, or because you want to buy yourself a nice house? It really has nothing to do with your wife and kids. It's just it's your ego. So you're staying long term, say, yeah, but I'm working hard for us, I do that for us. Yes, it's all for your ego, because your wife she doesn't want a huge thing. She doesn't want a fancy car. She wants you to be home with the kids, because the kids are going to need thousands of dollars of therapy that now you're trying to make money, but at the end you're going to have to pay all that money in therapy because the kids has been abandoned, because that kid doesn't have a father home, because that kid sees his father come at 11 at night and he never sees him, right? So you are so busy working and trying to create in your mind that, yeah, I'm a super husband, I want to work for my family and make money, but really you're delusional. And it's all about your ego. It's just all about power, about loving money and not being home and being busy with the things that guys like to do. And really, you're faking yourself. What your wife wants is to spend time with you. What the kids want is to spend time with you. And really, all that extra time that you think you make more money, you lose actually money, because you're gonna have to pay therapists, or you pay marriage counselor, or whatever it is, because you're never home, and your marriage and your family is falling apart, and your kids are taking drugs because they don't feel loved by their father. So think a little bit of that, okay? But yeah, the idea was more to speak about housewife, and understanding the greatness of it. But it's going to be only great if the husband learned how to appreciate it properly. But you should never fight about it, because I shouldn't say never fight. Obviously, there are also arguments, but about that concept of staying home and the wife doing and not doing enough. It's, if you feel she's not doing enough, then do, because you should always help your wife, especially before Shabbat. Our tzaddikim, the rabbis, okay, the holy rabbis who stay in yeshiva and learn most of the day, those holy rabbis from the previous generations, they will go in the kitchen and prepare the fish, or do something extra to be part of it. They will clean the home and do something in the home themselves. Right, there's a famous story of, I think, the Rav Gifter, Zatzal, who one of the Bachor say, Rabbi, I don't understand. My wife is not cleaning before Shabbos. She's like, I feel she's lazy. I don't know if she's a good wife. She's not. I don't know what to do. So he went on complaining. And one time the wife said, I don't understand. My husband is so upset at me. We're in the middle of a fight. He feels I'm not cleaning enough. So right away, say, okay, he hanged up on her, or on him. And I don't remember the exact detail, but that was about what happened. And he went straight to their home and say, "Hi, how are you, Rabbi? What are you doing here in Rosh Yeshiva?" And he said, "No, I came to help your wife because apparently you don't know how to clean, so I'll do it for you." And the guy was so embarrassed because you cannot take a broom, you cannot put a pasta in the pot. We have to learn that your wife is not a cook, she's not a cleaning lady, she's not a maid, she's not a nanny. Okay, she's your wife, she's your spouse, and everything she does is out of love for you. She wouldn't need to do anything of that if he was not married. So you are both as responsible for the home. It's just that when she's a home wife, she have the ability to create that atmosphere and do more. But don't take it for granted. Don't minimize it. It's really something really sad today in our generation that couples don't learn to do things together, work things together. As much as possible, the couple, housewife or not housewife, should prepare Shabbat together. They should ask each other, "What can I do for you? What can I do to help?" I'm talking to myself, okay? Because sometimes I don't always, I'm busy with this, learning, but the truth is, we have to ask, okay, what can I do? Is there anything you need? Every husband, on Friday especially, what can I do to help in the house and help the wife? So that's what the Torah way, okay, not the Bukharian way, not the Persian way, not the Syrian way, not the Ashkenaz way, not the American or European way. This is the Torah way. And that's how love gets built, and that's how this peace in the home. And Bezat Hashem, we shall all be successful in becoming true husband and wife. Shabbat Shalom.